All right, all right. It's Christmas in July.
Yes, it is.
What are you going to do next month?
Next month?
Christmas
Yeah.
in August.
All right. Fair
Does it
enough.
matter?
Not at this point. I mean, you're halfway through the year. You might as well just keep it up now.
This is true. I hadn't planned on taking it down.
I mean, the mojo worked. It got you a Super Bowl.
Christmas in July. And here we are. Camp is open.
Has it kept the Eagles ornaments on it, or have you changed those?
No, I've left those alone.
Okay. I didn't know if we switched it over to the Phillies now.
No, because I don't have enough Phillies. But we started to add, like we put Ocean City and the brewery in Pittsburgh. So
Gotcha.
as we get new ones,
Okay.
and there's new ones coming out. I think we got Kelly Green, two-time Super Bowl champ balls coming out. I'll have those in the next day. But it's Christmas in July. Come on.
Right.
All right. It's Christmas in July. I'm not raining on your parade.
Cheers. It's Christmas in July. All right. Where the hell are we? We're down a man. He's got a baseball game.
He does.
So
Yep.
He's over in baseball town. So
Yep.
Fightins are playing good ball too. So hopefully,
that's cool.
hopefully they snag another win. Before we dig into our favorite sports teams, hello, Joe Stinger. I've seen him twice since he's been up from Florida, but he's heading home Friday. So, but we hooked him up with the new Carl's Cards T-shirts for him and the little fella.
Nice.
So, yep. So he's made a couple visits and he's loading up on supplies because he said he can't get supplies down there in his part of Florida.
Okay.
So, anyway, thank you, Joe Stinger. John, fantasy baseball?
Yeah, we're going to catch you up. We got week 15. We didn't have anything for this exact week just because of the All-Star break, but this was the one right before the All-Star break, and we had and I'm only showing it because of number 4, but
I see that.
But
I know that guy.
You know that guy?
I know that guy.
So this was right before the All-Star game, and we had 3 games since the All-Star break was over. So we just kept this leaderboard here because it wasn't enough data to add up to it. So and then I figured we'd give you your acknowledgement since you're up on the leaderboard there, number 4.
What do you mean? You give me my acknowledgments? Like you treat me like somebody's other son or something?
No, but it's happy birthday. It's just your early birthday present.
Oh, wow.
Like fourth place isn't fourth place. It's gotta be like belongs to somebody else.
Oh no, it's just you're up you're sniffing the top of the leaderboard there, so you gotta give you your kudos.
Oh God.
It's rare air up there for you.
Rare air. Christmas in July. That's what it is. Christmas in July. What are you doing, Lauren? You look like you're busy doing something.
I'm not busy doing anything. I'm waiting for John's fantasy update to be over and for you to stop gloating about being in 4th place. That's all.
I didn't bring it up, so I wasn't gloating.
Oh, it seemed like you were gloating.
I was taking advantage of the situation.
Yeah, but yeah. So we got the All-Star break. So don't worry, people. Like my mom, she's already worried. She thought she was losing her Grand Slam for Kyle Schwarber because she didn't get the three days updated. Everybody's going to get their 3 days updated. Don't worry about it. So it'll all count.
I wasn't worried at all, John. If that helps you.
Yeah, I know.
It wasn't. I didn't even think about it.
We got to give my mom's daily update so that she's since she's fallen way off of the leaderboard, she got it.
Okay. Don't call it a comeback.
Yeah, exactly. So got going there. So everything else is going well though. So everybody's keeping up with their guys, and Bryce Harper's doing well right now. So
He's back.
he is.
He's back. He's back. He's back. He wasn't back on Sunday when I was sweating my goonies off down at Citizens.
How was that? You guys went together. How was that?
We did our first. Well, no, Johnny and I have done road trips before. Not to the Phillies, I don't think.
We've been to the Phillies game a couple of times. We get Lawrenceburg. I mean, it was just you and I know, but
right. But we did the Trenton, Reading playoff games and stuff like that. But let me tell you how it was hot. It was so hot. The rains came. And,
it was nice before the rains.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
How long did you guys stay?
I was going after the 5th inning.
Okay.
Yeah,
That's longer than I thought.
And there was a lot of other people right with me because they were all chanting, we ain't never left this early before. But I don't know if it was so much the heat as it was the fact that, they couldn't get the ball out of the infield.
Right. I'm guessing if it was a better game, you might have stuck around.
That's a possibility. That's a real good possibility. It just lulled you to sleep, man.
Sure.
I mean,
Lamont Wade hit that home run. Your dad didn't even get 4 feet from the chair, and he already gave up another run. So,
I think the only reason I really went was to get a bag of All-Star stuff. I think that's the only reason I went.
Nice.
That's what I came away with.
And were you successful in that?
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, there's a lot of nice stuff there.
Yeah. So it was good. It was good, but it was too damn hot. And the older I get, I just don't like the heat anymore.
Okay.
Oh.
No, just don't like the heat.
Yeah.
But anyway,
they were great seats.
Yeah, they were awesome seats.
Yeah. You even came with the waterfall.
They almost kept you dry.
It came with the waterfall.
Yeah.
I was the only chair in the entire stadium that was getting the drip coming down on me.
Nice.
Even the usher came in. She goes, "I feel so bad for you." I'm like, "It's okay. It's no big deal. It's slowing up."
Right.
And then she comes back down. And what was it right before you left there, Carl? And she goes, "Oh, look, it's stopped." I'm like, "Yeah." Look, and your dad's like, trying to rub it in. but no, they were good seats. They were really,
good seats. Too hot. But other than that, it was good. It was fun. It was fun hanging out. John reading the analytic board to me. Every pitch.
That's gotten to be so ridiculous down there that there's, every pitch has got, this one dropped vertically 17 inches. This one went horizontally 13. I'm like, it's a ball. Doesn't matter. All I kept thinking was Larry Bowa with the launch angle and the ball going out to center field, and he's like, "No, it's just an F8. That's all it is to me."
Yeah.
It was crazy how they had the so much with the analytics, and it's just showing how much is in the game.
Speaking on this team, going from series to series, and here we are, right, Wednesday night, and they're going for a sweep of the Red Sox, right? And the Red Sox have been pretty good, right? They hit the ball, you know what I mean? They do a lot of the right things. And, there's the Phillies winning games by, what are they calling it now? Catcher's interference, in back-to-back nights.
Yeah.
I mean, it's baseball. And then they've just turned everything around.
And it's funny, too, because it helped the Phillies, but in both situations, like last night, they called it a catcher's balk because we stepped across, the home plate. But Brandon Marsh was almost on the, in the on deck circle when it happened. So it wasn't like he was interfering with them. And even the Amando Sosa one with the bases loaded, he was check swinging. He wasn't even making making an attempt at a swing. And
These are rules. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I think these are rules that I think most of us didn't even know existed.
yeah, you don't see them that often.
They have to be explained, right? What was that one the other night? The last time it happened, 1971 or something.
1971, and then before that, they said it was 1921. So,
but is that because it was a walk-off win like that from 1971?
Yeah, I believe that's what.
Got it.
Yeah, I mean
there's catcher's interference calls. I don't want to say frequently, but they do happen. This was just so happened to win them the game.
Well, yeah, to win the game because they were saying they had some kind of comment back in like the 90s that maybe like 12 times they've had catcher's interference in the whole season in baseball. Today there's over like 300 in today's game. I mean, the Red Sox alone have eight of them for their own.
And I was just getting ready to say that catcher's got some bad habits.
Right. It's all the pitch framing when they're trying to move the glove, and it's doing a lot more things now. That the catchers has a lot more activity with his glove, that you're getting those interferences. But I mean, I don't know. That one yesterday with Harper trying to steal it home, and I mean, what was that catcher supposed to do? Just stand behind the plate then and hope to tag him? I mean, he gave Harper a lane, and he stepped across it, but Marsh was out of the way. That was kind of strange.
Very.
Very. With that call.
And on top of that, I understand. Bryce is very aggressive. Taking singles to second base, forcing a lot of things, trying to generate things. I get it, but he doesn't need to get hurt again.
No,
you know what I mean? And he wasn't even coming in on a slide. He was standing up the whole way.
Yeah, for most,
I just he's just had some unfortunate, we'll call it luck. Get hit in the face or hit in the wrist or hit wherever. That's not his doings, but he's been the recipient of some bad luck with some things, and you would certainly think he'd think twice. I can't imagine the team put that on him. I got to think that was all him, right?
It was. He said that after the game. He said he saw that he was slow the first pitch, and then he figured he'd take advantage of it, try to get an extra run, and it worked out.
Worked out well.
It just shows his aggressiveness, and his knowledge, to be able to watch the pitcher and see
100%.
How much is there. So
Schwarber hit his 33rd home run.
Has he gotten a contract yet?
I haven't. It hasn't come across my email.
Okay.
I haven't seen any. I'm just hearing an awful lot of chatter lately about him going home to Cincinnati. That was his boyhood team, and how exciting he would be to go home and play for the Reds. So I don't like hearing that chatter.
No, and hopefully it's just to talk up to be able to make the Phillies, pay a little bit more. Hopefully,
right.
I don't know. Yeah, I don't know. I just
what's he going to win? What's he going to win in Cincinnati? Between here,
you look at that team. They play decent ball. You know what I mean? And you add a piece like that to their lineup. You know what I mean? It's that's the energy that we're looking for here right now, right? We need another piece here in Philly. A Pete Rose type guy to come join this squad. To just to energize and not put so much pressure on Harper and Schwarber all the time.
Right. That's true.
So, Lauren, real quick, did you catch any of the post-game concert with Nelly?
I didn't see anything, but I know it happened, and Anthony and I considered going down for it. But no, I didn't.
It was funny because Nick Castellanos still had his uniform on, and he's out on the field. And I don't know for sure if it's a bottle of beer or it could be a bottle of spring water, who knows, whatever. But he is dancing up a storm.
Yeah.
It's great. Yeah.
Yeah.
It
How
really
old is Nick?
is in his
Nick's
30s,
probably
right?
early 30s, probably 32, 33.
Yeah.
So that makes sense. I mean, Nelly was a big part of, my teenage years, so that would make sense. That kind of checks out as far as how old he is. So yeah, he probably grew up listening to him.
Yeah. No, he was into it.
Yeah.
He was into it, and good for him. Good for him. They need to. They
You
need
gotta
to
have fun.
Exactly. Yep.
Yeah, you gotta have
For
fun.
sure.
Nothing wrong with that.
For sure, especially after a win.
Sure.
2 wins, going for another win tonight, a sweep.
Yep.
By the way, they're on ESPN tonight, so if you're looking for the game, that's where you got to go. So
Yeah.
I saw that. Yep.
Yeah, that was a little odd today when I heard that.
yeah, ESPN today. They're off tomorrow. Apple Plus Friday night.
Mom ain't gonna like that.
MLB Saturday, and they're not back to their announcers till Sunday.
Oh wow.
So
Wow.
yeah, so there's your update. Since he is younger, they are Nick, Ellie, and some good pitchers on the rise. Okay, yeah, I just need to keep them here in Philly for another couple years.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, the Phillies. I think. And if we're getting sidetracked or we're still talking Phillies, we're 9 days away from the trade deadline. Next Thursday is the trade deadline. I know the expectations are high. What do you guys? Your insiders feeding you any information? I mean, I got nothing. I read every rumor that pops up, and some of them are pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's interesting with the new one that's been going around. That's Stephen Kwan. Stephen Kwan coming in Class A, coming over from Cleveland.
Yep.
I guess it's between Cleveland and Oakland or the Athletics. Right at the moment, if you're going to get Rooker and Mason from them, or Quan and whoever's the first team to say, yeah, let's do it. Who they're going to get between Class A and Quan and Mason and Rooker. But
yeah, I mean, the Rooker thing certainly takes care of your power guy, but what do you do with him? Because he's basically a DH, just like Schwarber is. So are you telling me you're replacing Schwarber without replacing Schwarber? I mean,
no, you're just going to put Rooker in left field and you're just going to let him play,
right? And then what? He's your DH next year when they don't re-sign. I mean, I'm reading into this.
Well, I mean, hopefully it would stay. He just plays left field from now on.
Okay.
I mean, is he the greatest at left fielder? No, but look at the Phillies left fielders when they've gone to the championships a lot. Defensive wise, you haven't had
Greg Luzinski and Pat Burrell.
Yeah, and then you had Matt Stairs. I mean, not Matt Stairs. Kyle Schwarber in 22 when they went. So I mean, it wasn't like you had the Gold Glovers out there all the time.
So, Mr. Baseball, who would you rather have? What? Quan and Class A or Rooker and Miller? Who would you rather have if you were picking the pair?
Oh, definitely Rooker and Mason.
Yeah, we agree. We finally agree.
Yeah, I mean, just because you have those guys under control for a long time too, because Rooker just signed for what was it? He just signed a 3 or 4 year deal extension. Mason's under control, as a rookie, second year player type of thing. So
I like Quan, but he doesn't give you power.
Well, that's the thing too. Yeah, and if you're able to do that, supposedly the rumors are, and whoever's watching, and you guys too, Lauren and Carl, would you give up Painter, Abel, Aiden Miller, and Tate? The catcher.
The catcher. I can't give up both Painter and Abel. I told you this a gazillion times. I can't give up both, because then what do you have left in the tank for potential prospects to pitch?
Well, then that would just force them that they have to get Ranger re-signed.
You're asked. There's a lot. That's a lot of questions.
It is, yeah.
So,
but that way you keep Crawford, and then Crawford comes up, right after the trade deadline, and he plays center field, and you got Rooker and then Nick Castellanos.
Do you think it's going to take those four? I just think you're overpaying.
No, it's going to take at least those four. Yeah.
Yeah, I
mean, Mason Miller's got 4 years of control before before he gets arbitration, and Rooker's got 3 or 4 more years of control as well. So
yeah, I just don't like giving up all them prospects. I think that's a little hefty. But I could be wrong.
But you're going to give up at least 3 of those if you're going to get Quan and Clase. So whatever you're going to do, you're going to be giving up those type of pitchers. I don't know. I mean, you're gonna have to do that, and you're just gonna have to bite the bullet, because you're just in that situation. Because what are you gonna do? Hold on to those guys and hope for maybe 5 years from now that they're at the peak level for those guys, for Andrew Payne or whatever. And
does that guarantee me a World Series?
Well, nothing's going to guarantee you a World Series. I mean, it's just. I mean, you could have the best team out there, and it just depends on what happens that week.
Yeah, I just think we've talked about it so much, not just us. I think all of Phillies Nation has been talking about this, and what we need, what we got to have. I mean, when's the last time we had a legit closer on this team?
Probably Brad Lidge. Well, Papelbon probably was it afterwards.
Yeah, like you said, Lidge, who won it for us in 08. I don't know how Thompson's going to react, having a legit closer in the 9th inning. You know what I mean? Is he going to know how to manage?
Yeah. How do I leave the ninth inning alone and Mason Miller's going out there? Yeah, it's
right.
It's. But I mean, just look at it. I mean, I don't know. You just gotta do what you gotta do, because you only got a couple of year window. You only got 2 years with Kyle Schwarber. I mean, Zach Wheeler over with this before he retires. Who knows? Schwarber could be gone after this year. JT could be gone after this year as well. Ranger could be gone.
So Jim Wright wants to know who the Pete Rose player you think the Phillies need. It was funny, not to get away from the question, but I wanted to talk about it a little bit anyway. But Philly Sports Net has been doing a 4-part series on Dick Allen going to the Hall of Fame, right? And a lot is being talked about now because he was brought back in 1976.
Right.
You know what I mean? And after he had retired, and he was done with baseball, and it took a trip by, I don't know, help me out, Larry Bowa, Mike Schmidt, and somebody else.
Yeah, wasn't it like a Larry Christensen or somebody? It was a pitcher.
They had to go pay him a visit and talk him out of it, and come back to Philly after all the all the crap that he had gone through and whatnot. And, you talk about, a guy of that magnitude, who can walk to the plate on any given at bat, you know what I mean, and destroy the baseball. So I know Pete Rose wasn't that kind of guy, but he was very, he was a good ball player. He was good at first base. He was good all around. And he just made everybody else around him, be accountable. And I think that's what you need. But I don't know that there's that type of player out there, to bring in a veteran type player, with that kind of hype. I mean, what do you guys think?
I mean, I think that Bryce Harper is supposed to be that player, but I don't think he really brings that to the table. Right?
Yeah, I agree. I don't think it's today's generation, to be honest.
Right.
I think Kyle Schwarber is probably the closest. Of the guys that would as you saw him in the All-Star game, everybody was going over and talking to him. And,
yeah, but he doesn't really have that kick in the ass energy that I
Right.
think your guys are kind of talking about. I mean, yeah, when he goes up to bat, you're likely to, get some production out of him, but I don't think you're getting that. I don't know that he elevates everybody else around him.
Well, no, exactly. And I think that's part of, today's generation that we were talking about earlier.
But we can all agree he does make that lineup a whole lot better. No, he didn't night out.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
So,
we're about 10 games worse if we don't have him in that lineup right now.
right. Yeah. I don't know. When we brought Schwarber here and we brought Nick here, I mean, I don't know. What were the expectations? Did we have any at all? I don't know that we did.
And as we were talking about it the other day at the game, that was a kind of a weird situation because nobody wanted to pay him, at that time. It's kind of strange, how. I mean, he still had a good season in Boston, up in Washington as well. It wasn't like he just came here to Philadelphia and started, but it's strange how I think it goes back to the analytics. They see him hit before. Now he's gotten to be a better hitter, Schwarber. It was more of a home run and strikeout for Schwarber, and he struck out a lot, so people didn't appreciate that at that time. Now he's become a much better hitter, taking the ball the other way as well. When it's given to him, and not always.
Where would this team be without him, John?
Oh, like I said, they'd be at least 10 games worse. At least.
You take him out of the lineup, you take Harper out of the lineup with injuries,
Right.
and you could be looking at third or fourth place for crying out loud.
Oh yeah, easily. And that's with the great pitching staff. Because you're losing games. I mean, just the other night when he hit the grand slam. I mean, you lose that game if it wasn't for the grand slam.
Right.
There's been many games that he's won the games with his home runs already this year. That it's just that's why, like I said, he's a piece that you can't let go. I mean, it's just because you're gonna have to replace that person to begin with. So it's not like you're not gonna be able to spend money, or you're not gonna be spending money. You're gonna have to go there, and I mean it's a tough situation. I mean, fortunately, like we were saying, the Mets have struggled a little bit, and the Braves have been hurt.
They're struggling a whole lot. What did we throw that stat at me again about Lindor?
Yeah, Francisco Lindor. We think it's bad here in Philadelphia. He's 0 for 30. He's basically Brandon Marsh for April. I mean, we think it's bad.
They're still hanging in there, just like our Phillies.
Exactly. Everybody they keep battling and winning their games as well. 3-2 or whatever. So yeah, it's a tough situation. It's just you're so close. You got to. Like we were saying before. In past years, you can't give up a Kyle Drabeck. You can't give up this guy. You can't give up this guy. Well, how many of those moves that we've given guys up that's really hurt? In the past,
probably the most recent one is the JT Realmuto trade, right?
Yeah.
Where you gave up
Sixto Sanchez and Alfaro and then who was Will Stewart? I think it was the pitcher, the other pitcher.
Yeah.
Never
to be heard from again, right?
Right. And Will Stewart pitched well. I think he even threw a no-hitter in Lakewood the one year. When he was there. But yeah, it was. These guys just get. Philadelphia, the Phillies. I think as an organization, they fall too much in love with their prospects. And it's just. They hang around because they keep them around so long that Andrew Painter has been hurt 2 years ago, and he's struggling up at AAA, and they keep thinking, oh yeah, he's going to come up and he's going to be Nolan Ryan once he comes up here. It just doesn't happen. right away.
Well, you can't talk down on your prospects. I mean, come on.
Well, no, I'm not saying you're talking down on them, but internally you got to be realistic about it.
No, I think they are. I think they've retooled the farm system because now you've got a lot of top prospects. You got prospects that other teams want. So,
and that's when you got to capitalize on it.
Right, but you got to get return. So, what do we have? 9 days. 9 days till
next Thursday.
6 o'clock.
Yep.
Something like that.
So
Jimmy
we'll really be amped up next Wednesday night.
Oh yeah, yeah.
We'll really be amped up because something will have either been done or somebody's getting pulled out of the lineup. Somebody's not playing that night, so it's going to be an interesting next 9 days for sure.
Yeah.
So I'm sure you guys have other things to talk about, Hall of Fame weekend, Eagles rings, all that kind of stuff. But what happens if they don't do anything?
Yeah.
You open the door for my Shawnee comment to get under his skin. Gage Wood's coming up then. Gage Wood, the first round pick that we just
The
got.
kid they just drafted?
The kid they just drafted. He's gonna be their closer for this year.
He went, Johnny. He's down in Florida right now, warming up.
Yep.
Johnny, I think you've lost your mind.
You've said that a few times on this show.
Get back to me in a couple of weeks because
right.
he will be up here. I'm
Okay.
just telling you. Because
Well, what does that say to your other prospects? What does that say to the guys who have been busting their ass in AAA and AA, and all of a sudden this guy is just going to skyrocket from just barely being drafted to the majors?
Well, I mean, obviously, I'm half joking about it a little bit, but I do think that it is a possibility though, as well. He was drafted as a college kid, so Andrew Painter was drafted as a high school kid, so he needed a little bit of time to work, come through. He's as close to. I mean, he probably pitched it in what would you say, Carl? In the college baseball is probably, in general, is probably maybe AA baseball. At least high A.
I mean, some of the competition, especially like in this year's, College World Series. I mean, there were some athletes there.
Well, that's what I mean. But just in general, like overall college, they're probably AA, and you might be close to AAA when you get
pitched the World Series just recently.
Right.
I mean, he's got a big arm.
He throws 100 miles an hour. Like, I mean, doesn't mean he has, he's still got to have control, and I understand all that, but he's he's been through some more steps than a guy coming up through the minors.
Yeah, I mean, they've got an agenda in mind for him. Trust me, Yeah. And I don't think it's a year or two. So,
okay,
you could be on to something there, Johnny. But
right. I mean, because just look at. Kirk Kirkland was up in the following year after he got drafted.
He came.
It was just
he was in Reading, and I think he had a cup of coffee one morning in Lehigh, and then he was getting shuttled to Philly that fast.
Yeah, he had a detour to the Lehigh and up. So I mean, the Phillies went out this year, and their first 7 picks, I think it was,
all pitchers.
Were all pitchers. Well, I mean, yeah, more than that, but they were all college pitchers.
Right.
So it was college pitchers that were more developed.
All right.
So I mean,
it's going to be interesting.
Yeah, it's hard to say. I mean, and that might also go to the fact that maybe an Abel or a Painter or both are going to get traded, type of thing, and so those guys aren't feeling slighted because they got passed over, type of thing.
Okay.
But I mean, it's a different situation because of the bullpen versus a starter.
Sure.
It's a little.
All right. It's Hall of Fame. It's Hall of Fame weekend.
Yes.
Our guy Dick Allen goes in. Unfortunately, he's not here to enjoy it, but the family will. It's pretty cool. I just got this actually. It's Hall of Fame bobblehead. And there are only 72 of them. There's only 72 of them made.
Why that number?
70. I don't know, because he was MVP that year, John.
That's probably what it was, because I was trying to figure it out, because 64 was his rookie year.
Yeah.
76 coming back to the Phillies. So yeah, I didn't know what.
Love the powder blues.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Love the powder blues. Love the big glasses. You know what I mean? And I go back to the series that they're running on NBC Sports. It was a 4-part series. I hope they put it all together so we can watch the whole thing.
They've done a very nice job with that.
Awesome.
Well, it's actually a 6-part. They're going to do it tomorrow and Friday as well.
Is that what it is? 6?
Yeah, it's actually 6 in total. But they started it last Friday and then all this week.
6-parter, and I guess I think they're like 15, 20 minutes. Would that be?
Yeah, it's at the end of the show.
Yeah, something like that.
See, it's good though. They did a real nice job. Your boy Larry Shank is in there quite a bit, John.
Yep, I saw him.
Yeah, I missed it the past couple of days. I kind of forgot about it after they.
That man's got a lot of baseball knowledge stuffed away in there.
Oh yeah, him and Larry Shank, and talking to him, for the show. Dick Allen, relied on him a lot. He confided with him because of everything that was going on during that time, and he kept, calling Larry and asking him to make it stop. All the hate going on and stuff like that. They had a real tight relationship.
Yeah, it's a good story. Whoever put it together. Kudos to them. But yeah, Hall of Fame weekend. We got a Pittsburgh Pirate going in, the Cobra, Dave Parker. He recently passed away. So again, there's another family that, won't have their guy there to enjoy it. But tough situation. But apparently it's going to be well attended and packed up there in Cooperstown, because I was talking to my guy in Matt Wheeler in Water Villette, New York, and he asked me what time I was going to see him Saturday morning. And I said, "You're not." I said, "Not unless you got a room for me."
Yeah.
It's going to be a good one. So I'm sure they'll do the families well. Who else is going in? There's four guys going in, right?
Yeah, Billy Wagner and who was the other one? I don't know why I was thinking Ichiro, but it's not Ichiro.
Hold on one second. Let me get it pulled
Billy
up.
Wagner's the one.
Yeah.
Maybe it is Ichiro.
It is Ichiro. Yep.
Yeah,
there you
CC
go.
Sabathia.
Oh, Sabathia as well.
Yeah, and Billy Wagner.
Okay.
So
Yeah. Good. Good year for Hall of Famers. So that should be a lot of fun. But yeah, Dick Allen, long overdue. Should have happened while he was alive.
Same with Willie Stargell too. I mean,
Yeah. I mean, it's sad, but hey, it's part of baseball, right?
Yeah.
Way these things all turn out, and but anyway, if anybody's going up and wants to drop some pictures on our page, we'd love to see them.
Yes.
A lot of cool stuff going on. I know Al from JSA will be up there with all the autograph signings out there on the main road. So good time,
Oh, yeah.
good fun. So yeah. All right, leaving the baseball world for a minute. The Eagles training camp has started, but I guess the big thing was the rings, the bling. How about them rings? Huh?
They were impressive.
Has anybody heard an estimate on what those things are worth?
I have not.
No, I haven't heard it either.
That's some serious bling right there. What did they say? A total of 14 carats all told, if you add up all the diamonds?
Is that what it was? I know it's 40 ounces weight or something like that.
Unbelievable.
Yeah.
And those movable wings on the outside,
Yeah,
Very
that was pretty cool.
very impressive. Very, very impressive.
So it looks here, and this is just an AI, pull that they summarized from what's on Google, that the rings cost anywhere between 35,000 to 50,000 each, depending on like the customization.
Wow.
How do you guys feel about the 2 trophies on the front?
Didn't like it.
Yeah, I didn't either.
That was the first thing I saw too, and I said to Tyler, I'm like, why they got the two?
If you're not, I mean, for the 4 or 5 guys that did win both, that's one thing.
Right.
But for the rest of, I just thought it was weird. I thought that was a weird thing to have on there when it's not like this whole team was also on the first team.
Right.
That would annoy me if I had that ring. I don't know why, but it would just annoy me that both trophies were on there. And like for AJ Brown, Jalen Hurts, they're like, I didn't have anything to do with the first one.
Right.
So I'm not a fan. I might be in the minority, but I wasn't a fan.
Tyler, and I didn't get to research it, but Tyler says they do that for all the rings.
So I will say that the way the first ring looked and the way the second ring looked, it looked like they had a plan. Okay, if we win again, this is what that one's going to look like.
Oh, because it was like off to the side type of thing.
No, it was centered, but they look exactly the same. And then they just kind of shifted the first trophy over a little bit and inserted the next one. So if there is another, you can kind of see how that's going to continue to build. But I feel like other championship rings, so if you look at like the Chiefs or teams that have won multiple years, I just don't know that I think there's a representation on there of the other years that they've won. I just don't know it's that prominent.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, that was the first thing that hit me, and I was just like,
yeah, I wasn't okay. I'm glad I wasn't the only one. So it didn't do it for me. That's all.
Yeah.
But I will say that event for somebody who does events looked. I can't even imagine the work that goes into it. I can't even imagine the event team that has to go into that. I mean, the way the centerpieces and the boxes came out and all of them were labeled with their names. I mean, I can't imagine the manpower to make that event happen.
Yeah. Oh yeah. No, it was pretty interesting. And then talking about that, what did you guys think about Jalen Hurts not putting it on?
Funny that you would bring that up.
Well, I know, but I mean, it was just interesting. I mean,
he's a weird dude.
You
know what I mean? And this just falls into the weird category. You know what I mean? Where, this is basically the last night that you're going to represent, this championship team.
Exactly.
And he does not. And what does he say? Something to the effect that was last year. This is a new year. And I'm like, dude, I mean, come on.
But it's, AJ Brown has kind of had that same sort of weird mentality too, where he was like, we won, but to win wasn't what I thought it was going to be. It was the journey to get there.
Yeah.
And
he was like all getting, with getting the ring and putting it on.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And I'm sure in that moment you're excited, and I get what you guys are saying about Jalen, but I do just feel like even with AJ Brown as well, like it's almost like the struggles you get through to get there are what made it worth it for AJ, not the final product.
Well, I think our boy Jalen, still has that serious chip on his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
He just can't find it within himself, to get rid of that chip. Even I'll bring it up. ESPN came out with their list of top 10 quarterbacks, and he's number 9. You know what I mean? So, that's got to be haunting him to no end that he doesn't get the respect. Not that this has anything to do with putting the ring on or not putting the ring on.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? But I just think, the weird category, in his brain, is just that he just doesn't get the respect. I don't know. Winning another trophy, does that help with this? I don't know.
I don't know. It's one of those things. It's like you said. I think
Nick's got a lot of Nick. I'm not picking up on everything you're saying, but you got some interesting comments. You know what I mean? And you know, I don't agree or disagree, but you got some great accountability going on there.
I mean,
You know.
I get his comment about, rings are meant to represent the franchise, not just the year, which I totally get. But I feel like the rings for the players should be representative of them and what they've won. Like, for example, my college ring doesn't have anything to do with the graduation, the classes before me. It's my ring. It's my year that I graduated. So, like, if the rings are meant to represent the franchise and the owner wants one that's got 2 Super Bowl trophies on it, fine.
Yeah.
But the players, they should get their own ring for that year, not something that sort of builds on a team that most of them had nothing to do with. But I hear what you're saying.
These Super Bowl rings have gotten out of control. I mean, you go up the years, man. They have it. I can't imagine 10 years from now you're going to need 2 fingers to.
They said you got to put it on your middle finger just to balance it for this one.
It's crazy.
But did you see Lane Johnson talking about that? And this was just 7 years ago. But did you see Lane Johnson with the 2 of them and how small the first one was compared to this one?
Yep.
You know, and that's just within the Eagles. And like you said, not going back to, I mean, you go back to the first Super Bowl rings, it's like a high school ring.
Listen to us. But we won 2 Super Bowls. We've been to 3. You know what I mean? And we're pissing and moaning about the Super Bowl ring.
Well, you've been to 4, right?
Is it 4 or 3?
Well, you won in 04 and you lost.
Okay, well, you're going back that far. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, because
I'm just talking about
if we're talking.
The franchise you don't have 5 then if you're going back there because it's 1980.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm just
talking about it in the last few years.
Okay.
You know what I mean? But it's a good problem to have, right?
I'll take it any day of the week.
It's a good problem to have. All I want to do is celebrate.
Exactly.
Is that what it is?
Nick also asked about, I think the Savannah Bananas. There was a question on
that's this weekend.
Yeah. I am personally not going. Also, probably in the minority on this, but I'm not a fan of that. But I can understand why people do like it. But no, I personally
very entertaining. It's the Harlem Globetrotters of the modern day.
That's what I keep trying to tell myself. But I guess it just bothers me that like real baseball doesn't get that kind of attention and that kind of love and that kind of sold out numbers.
I just look at the price of the tickets, the secondary price of the tickets.
Right.
Yeah.
The secondary price is through the roof. Now, I also understand that I guess the Bananas have control of the tickets.
See you later, Schwarbomb.
Did he hit another one? Oh, my God. Put another 0 on the check.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. The dude is just he's in a world of his own.
Oh, yeah.
In a world of his own. God bless him. God bless him. John Middleton, get out the checkbook. Get the other checkbook.
Exactly.
But yeah, I don't have anything against
stupid on it.
I can understand why kids like it and all that stuff, but just as somebody who's a fan of like real baseball, it doesn't do it for me.
Yeah. No, I agree.
You're right, Nick. It's the WWE of baseball. That's a good analogy right there.
Harper too.
Harper hit one?
Oh, was that before this? Okay.
What do you mean Harper too?
I don't know.
Harper was on?
No, Joe Stinger and Jim.
Oh, Harper. He's in front of us. Back to back.
What TV do they have?
He must have that go fast internet that we don't have.
Harper just hit that home run on my TV.
Me too.
Well, they made that comment. Joe Stinger, 719. So.
Wow.
719. Yeah. So yeah, it's yeah.
My TV's like a minute or 30 seconds delayed.
How about it? Back to back bombs. Just talking about those guys. But the Bananas, they're selling out everywhere. The kids love them, and you know what parents do for their kids.
Oh yeah.
Maybe it'll get them into the real game. That's how I like to look at it.
Yeah, we're in Havertown's a big baseball area for kids. There's a lot of a lot of baseball being played. I'm in lower, slower Delaware. I don't know about that. None of you
No, you're not. I'm in lower, slower Reading because I didn't get it at all.
Yeah,
So,
and I'm out here in the great Glen Mills where I don't get fast TV. So anyway, everybody had it before us.
Yeah.
That's good. It's 2-0 Phillies.
There you go.
3-0. So how we get the third run? Oh, somebody was on base. Okay.
For Schwarber, Turner must have been on base for.
Turner was on base and Schwarber hit a 2-run bomb. There we go. There we go. 3-0. All
Three
right.
batters in 3-0.
There we go. All right, back to where were we? We were talking Eagles. We were talking Super Bowl rings. We were talking the bananas. Here's the question I have, and maybe Nick, because he seems to be into it more than most of us. Who is the celebrity going to be this weekend? Who is going to be the celebrity in Philadelphia? You know how they always have somebody?
Yeah.
So I wonder who the celebrity is going to be, because I know they've already had the Flying Hawaiian when they played out in Vegas, right?
Yeah.
And they had Howard.
And they had Howard when they played down south, I believe.
Yeah.
But yeah, going to be interesting. Jason Worth with a question mark. Okay. I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, he could be a guy that could do something like that.
You might get Cole if he's in town.
I was just gonna say that as well because of
Kelsey. That's another interesting one. Jason Kelsey.
Yeah. I could see that, but as far as baseball goes, I think it's got to be somebody from the 08 team. And Cole, I think, is pretty much kind of still in the area a little bit, so I got to think maybe him, maybe Rollins.
Cooper DeJean would be off the chart.
Yeah.
But I think with training camp, I think he may be off limits.
Yes, exactly.
I don't.
Well, so going off of that, if they are allowing him to do it, then maybe AJ Brown, because he did play baseball.
He was drafted. Yep.
Yeah.
Right.
Yep. They'll all be in the crowd, though. You can bet on that. They'll all be in the house.
Uh-huh.
So we got a lot going on. It's a great time to be a Philly sports fan.
Right.
I don't want to overlook, and we got to talk about it because I know it's on my calendar for July 14th, 2026. The All-Star game here in Philadelphia. And all the glitz and glitter that come along with it, that's going to be awesome. I think the job the Phillies did on Friday, with the announcement was unbelievable, was great. Having all the guys there, all the alumni guys, all the all-star guys, all the 08 guys. I just think, that just everything kind of keeps circling, right? I feel like I'm in the queue waiting to win tickets. You know what I mean? And John Middleton cannot give up this opportunity to not sign Kyle Schwarber with this day coming to Philadelphia. I mean, you cannot have an all-star game and have him come back and represent the Cincinnati Reds. That can't happen.
Right.
That cannot happen.
And then beat Bryce Harper in the home run derby.
It can't happen. I'm sorry. I'm going to be one pissed off hombre if that happens.
Uh-huh.
There's just so much for next year. So much going on. I don't even know. I don't know whose checkbook can I get into to get all-star tickets. They're going to be double what the banana tickets cost, for crying out loud. So
yeah, they'll be interesting.
Schwarber in the home run derby in Philadelphia. How fantastic would that be?
Well, going back to if he's here, can a team send two players, or can two players from the same team go?
Well, he would be elected in. Are you kidding me? They'll raid the ballot box for that.
No, but I'm saying, but can two players from?
Where are you thinking Harper goes in?
Oh,
too?
you mean for the home run derby?
For the home run derby? I mean, yeah, obviously for the All-Star game, yes. But
Yeah.
Well, I mean, it's a gimmicky event, so why not?
Well, I don't know. I think they try to make sure that, it's one from each team. And I don't know that Harper would agree to it with the injuries he has. That can be a little taxing on the guys.
Yeah, with the injury. I mean, I think when he came here and they first announced it before David Montgomery passed away, he was, he thought he was going to be the guy doing it. But yeah, maybe
Right.
with the injuries, it might have changed things a little bit.
Yeah.
Interesting, man. Fast forward 2026. Gonna be a great year. Gonna be a great year.
There's gonna be a lot going on, and yeah, it should be interesting. There'll be print money down there, so John Middleton has no.
Oh, John, you witnessed it. They already are. Did you see those lines?
No, that's what I'm saying. We were there. I mean, they're printing money from now till next year. I mean,
this dope was right in that line. So
I was right behind you.
So
yeah, I was going to say, I think 2 dopes were in the line.
Come on. All right. It's I got the clock time at 7:27. That's an appropriate date. I like those numbers. But we won't even go there.
Birthday?
I won't even go there. This new segment that we got, Ask Lauren, Ask Away with Lauren.
Yep.
Are you ready to ladle this week on us?
Absolutely.
All right, let's have it.
All right. Question for you guys is, what is your bucket list sports event? Something on your bucket list specifically related to sports that you would like to attend that's on your bucket list.
Man.
I mean, you were just talking about the All-Star game, so I feel like that was a nice segue, but something on your bucket list.
I went up to New York. Mom and I went up to New York when Chase was in the home run derby up there. I don't know. I gotta think I wouldn't pass on another opportunity for the Eagles Super Bowl.
To go to it.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, had the opportunity back in 2004 down in Jacksonville. Bought a big screen dinosaur TV instead.
Yep.
Yeah, Super Bowl for me. Only if the Eagles are in it again for the three-peat.
So.
Okay.
So it has to be a three-peat?
So it's got to be a three-peat.
Well, that's where I'm putting it because.
Oh, it'll be the third win.
Yeah.
Not a three-peat in a row.
Okay, not 3 in a row, but a third championship. I understand. Yes. Okay.
In my lifetime.
Right.
In my lifetime. Yeah.
Kentucky Derby. Interesting. That's a good one. I hadn't even thought about that, Tom.
Yeah. All the mint juleps and the big fancy hats.
Yeah.
That's a good one. Tommy.
Yeah, I like that one. WrestleMania, when we went last year, that was really good. That was.
Yep.
That was good.
We we're quasi wrestling fans. We're not, Yeah, I'm probably the wrestling guy in the family. I enjoy it. I think it's very entertaining. The Daytona 500, that's another major event. But that Kentucky Derby is
that's a good one.
That Derby's a good one.
Yeah.
All the big boys show up for that one too.
Johnny, what do you got?
My only caveat is if I've already gone, so the bucket list would be gone. Like I went to the World Series games, so that when it counted, what you're saying.
Okay.
Right. So in
if you already did it, that's okay.
Yeah, for that, if that going off of that, I would have to agree with your dad with the Super Bowl, I guess. Okay. Because I've been to the All-Star games when it was here in Philly in '96, and the home run derbies and when it was there, and went to the World Series games in '93 and '08 and '09.
Yep. Same.
So,
Same.
So yeah, I guess that obviously would be the the top one. Maybe going to another World Series if that was the case.
Right.
but already gone to it once. You know, I've been to the Stanley Cup Finals when the Flyers were here, and so yeah, I guess the Super Bowl would be the next. Just because I know it'll never happen is the Sixers get into the NBA Finals.
I mean, why you got to do that? Why you gotta do that? Why can't you just let them?
You can't just leave it alone. So what would yours be, Lauren?
So we've already done one of it, but to go to an induction weekend for the 4 major sports for their Hall of Fame.
All 4 in the same year.
Not in the same year, just in my lifetime. I want to get to all 4 of them. So I'd like to get to hockey, I'd like to get to basketball, and I'd like to get to baseball. And ideally, I would like to do it when somebody from a Philadelphia team is going in. I don't really just want to go like on a whim. So we had kicked around the idea of going this weekend to Cooperstown, which would have been fine because Dick Allen was going in. But when we went to Canton and Dick Vermeil went in, that was cool because we were able to attend his party, which was awesome. So yeah, to go to all one time for the four Hall of Fame.
And I've been to Toronto for two Hall of Fame inductions.
Yeah, but we need a redo on that.
It's a fun weekend, but I don't think unless you're tied inside the room, you know, to the things because it's very limited.
Right.
You know, there's not a lot of partying outside. You know what I mean?
Oh, okay. So
Does that make sense?
Yes, but I also wonder, like those experience packages that we bought into for Canton, they have to exist for all of the Hall of Fames.
Yeah, I don't think they do for hockey. I could be wrong. They have a couple of quasi Q&As and you know like an audit. They have an autograph session. They have a Legends game, but not that closeness. You know, like we had with football.
Right. Well, that was kind of like all the stars sort of aligned because we had just, you know, we had developed that relationship with Coach and, you know, we had stayed in touch with him and that sort of thing. So that all kind of, and I think the same thing probably would have happened this weekend because we know that Dickie Knowles is going to the induction because he was invited by the family. And I think we probably could have been part of whatever Philly's party might.
Yeah. What did John and I talked to the Bull the other night.
Yeah.
And he's in the house, him and his wife, Boa and his wife.
I think Milt Thompson and his wife.
Thompson and his wife. And then he's remarried. There was four couples.
And wasn't one of the announcers?
It might have been. You might be right about that, John.
I think the other one was one of the announcers.
Yeah.
I know there was some house that was being rented that I think Dickie Knowles was telling me about that maybe John Middleton was paying for, which was within like walking distance of the Hall of Fame. It was like
there's a guy, you know, there's a guy that has unlimited resources, and you know you'd love to hang out and drink a bottle of wine with him because you know it's top shelf.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like the alumni weekend, everybody goes back to his house one of those nights for a party. Can you imagine that?
John Middleton's house?
Yes.
Okay.
Well, this year it's on Saturday because John Kruk was just talking about that.
The party
because Sunday's game got changed to a night game.
Right.
Yes.
And I think usually it's a Sunday night game.
Yeah.
Or Sunday night after the game they have the party. And this year it got switched to Saturday.
All right, who's Philly Rovers, and what are they asking? Is this at the Glen Mills Buffalo Wild Wings? Are they talking about tonight?
Yeah, I mean not currently are we at Buffalo Wild Wings, but we are there once a month. That show was last week.
Yeah.
And then we'll be back there again August 13th. So no, we're not currently at Buffalo Wild Wings in Glen Mills, but we do.
That's me. Yeah. Who's Philly Rovers? Put a name on that.
I don't know. Maybe that's what he goes by. Maybe it's like Retreat Parm. Maybe
there you go.
Maybe he doesn't want to be identified.
A friend of Retreat Parm.
Yeah.
August
13th. Got it.
You know, and he's watching it from YouTube, right?
Yes, he is. That's why that icon looks different.
Gotcha. Thank you. Yeah.
Right, his name is Pete. There you go.
All right, Pete. Yeah, we got Tom Burgoyne coming out August 13th. So,
Yeah.
yeah, we're looking forward to it. All right, so let's back up. Jim Wright was asking about the Hulk. I don't know anything more than what's been out there on the internet. A lot of rumors.
Yeah.
But I just know he's in bad health. And how bad that is. Apparently, he had some kind of back and neck surgery where they had to go in through his esophagus, and there must have been some sort of damage to his, help me out here, his trachea.
Mhm.
And apparently, he can no longer speak.
Right.
So,
Well, that does control where you speak from. So.
Yep. So apparently, he was in ICU for a month, and he finally made his way home. But things have been quiet on the Hulk scene, so I'm sure everybody's hoping that comes back around because he's a big piece of the wrestling world. So,
And that voice too.
yeah, right.
Yeah, that voice with the Hulkamania is going to run wild on you.
Jim Wright, the All-Star game for him. What about Flyer Brian Propp? Yeah, we've talked over and over about how he belongs in the Hockey Hall of Fame. His numbers are staggering compared to others, but that'll probably never, ever happen. No one knows what's true. But Nick, there is a problem there for sure. I think we can all agree that there's definitely a problem because we haven't heard a peep out of him for a while now, and that's very unusual.
And he comes across to me as a guy where he never wants to be seen as fragile or beaten or down or anything like that. So if all these rumors were swirling and he was actually in good health, he'd be on Instagram, he'd be on Facebook, some type of live video for you to see him and hear him. So you got to think that there's at least something going on.
Yeah, and
the extent of its severity, who knows?
Right.
But something is keeping him out of the spotlight because he's not a guy that shies away from the spotlight whatsoever.
No, and he does his promos all the time for Monday nights for his karaoke in Clearwater.
Right.
And there hasn't been any of that for a long, long time.
Sure.
So, okay. Cruising right along. John, you know what? You seem to have covered a lot of tracks tonight, but do you have a rant in your back pocket?
I do have a rant. I mean, we touched it a little bit. Maybe we'll save it for next week because with the trade deadline, we talked about it a little bit.
Okay, I got you.
So we'll let the rant boil for one more week.
I like when it boils. I like when it boils.
Yeah, because
all right,
we'll give them another week, but they better just put them on notice that they better do something big.
Wow, put them on notice.
This is the year. This is the year not to wait for the prospects. Prospects are gone. Get us our damn trophy back again, like John Middleton wants to say.
That's what he's been saying. He's still
time
saying
to put up or shut up.
He's been saying it. He's still saying it.
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So, but I'll ask the question. We were talking about with the Eagles, stuff, and I have my issues somewhat with Jalen. I do like him. I just have some technical things with him. But what do you guys think? No, he's fine. He's fine as a quarterback.
Fine. He's fine, Dad. He's fine.
Well, he's fine because
he's boiling.
I'm boiling. No, he's fine. But because he takes a step back, and I think that's partly why he might be ranked 9th because he's not like other quarterbacks. That's all. And I'm not saying it's right or wrong. I'm just saying maybe that's part of the reason why because he does what it takes to win. Right?
Do you like Carson Wentz better than Jalen Hurts?
No.
Did you see who Carson Wentz signed with?
Oh, are we still playing this game?
But no, he signed with the Dallas Cowboys.
Did he?
It could be false. Don't hold me to it, but I think he signed with the Dallas Cowboys.
Hold on, I'll look.
But anyway, No, I mean, Jalen's a quality quarterback. I'm not. He has just little things, and we talked about it with Darius Slay when he was here. And he agreed as well. As far as different things. But that's a different question.
What was the original question?
I asked him if he likes Carson Wentz better than Jalen Hurts.
And I said no. But what do you guys think about this hanging out with Michael Jordan and Derek Jeter and trying to be their following in their footsteps?
Who?
Well,
Jalen Hurts.
Well, I mean, Michael Jordan spent most of his career with a giant chip on his shoulder. So.
No, I understand, but I mean, does it seem real, or does it seem, as it's going on, does it seem phony? Like, what I mean, like that he's bringing a big thing that he comes to training camp today with the Michael Jordan shoes on, and it's like, I don't know, just a question.
I don't. You know what? I don't have a problem with it as long as he brings me a championship.
Oh yeah, no.
As long as he's not a locker room nuisance, as long as he's not somebody that's going to cause problems and friction and all that sort of stuff. And I don't see it. I love the fact that he's surrounded by all these, brands.
Right.
Whether it's Jeter, whether it's Kobe, whether it's Michael Jordan. I don't care. He got paid. He got his big contract. He should be. He should be happy. He's got a beautiful woman, that he made his wife, so he should be extremely happy.
It just seems.
I'll throw it back. I'll serve it back to you. Would you rather have Hurts or Embiid?
Ooh.
No, that's not even a question.
There you go. And what, 2-3 years ago, you'd have called me nuts. You'd have called me stupid. You know what I mean?
Even 2 or 3 years ago, Embiid, I haven't liked Embiid for 5 years.
We had all trusted the process, and we can't let a show go by without talking about it. You know what I mean? And we all thought it was going to happen. And here we are. But here's Hurts. You know what I mean? What's he got? His fourth offensive coordinator in 5 years.
6 and 6.
Okay, 6 and 6.
Yeah.
So that's even more of a plus for him.
I mean, he definitely has gotten better every year. Which is what you want to see.
Yep.
And that's all fine. And that's what. But like I said, and then you also got to understand too. That top 50. It was the top 50. I don't know if you want to GMs, and scouts and stuff that ranked him as the ninth best quarterback. So, most of those guys passed on him to begin with, as well in the draft. So, they may be keeping that same feel.
Well, that's that just makes the chip, even heavier to carry around. What I mean?
And again, it also depends on how you're looking at it too. I mean, Jalen's won. And so that's all that matters, here in Philadelphia. But, it's just a matter of, hey,
I'll leave you with this. I hope the great, legendary Josh Allen of the Buffalo Bills hurries up and wins a Super Bowl because, everybody's got him on that pedestal. Know what I mean? He hasn't won crap. You know what I mean? So.
Oh no, that's part of the thing. It's like you got guys that are talented and they don't have as. This comes back to the argument. You got a good team around you. Like you put Josh Allen on the Eagles, do they win? Type of thing. It's going to look different, but do they win?
Well, it's 7:45, almost past my bedtime.
What did Mom just say?
I don't know. Jesus is pitching a no-hitter. Nardo pitching a no-hitter. How about that performance? One lad. You got to give credit to Christopher Sanchez. How about last night? I mean, outstanding performance.
Yeah,
outstanding. Other than that one home run, and I don't even know what that guy's name was. One bad pitch. complete game, 12 strikeouts, no walks. Unbelievable.
Don't poo-poo on it. It's only It's only the third inning.
Nick can be so good, and then he can hit you in the heart with one real quick.
Well, yeah. I mean, as soon as Mom said that, I did look up and I said, "Well, it's the top of the third, so let's slow down, everyone."
Hey, great night. Thanks to everybody for joining in. The conversations were outstanding. I think my takeaway, if I had to pick one, Tom Kineen for the Kentucky Derby.
That was a good one.
I think we need to put this Fans View road trip together.
Wow.
With a several mint juleps. I don't even drink them, but I'll drink them.
I don't like mint.
I don't. I just want to go hang out with all the big wigs, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, you got to get a hat. You got to get the suit. Yeah,
Well, I don't think you have to get a hat. Dad. I think the ladies wear the hats.
No,
but
I
you'll
think the
you'll
guys-
definitely have to wear a suit. I don't think you're going to be able to get away with a t-shirt.
Oh, I'm out.
And you probably have to wear like real pants.
Oh, I'm out.
All right. I'll get a Tommy Bahama shirt and I'll fit right in.
All right.
All right,
Yeah.
ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, it's been another classic.
Yes.
It's been another classic. And Johnny, real quick, you reminded me the other day that year number 8 is rolling fast.
Yep. October 18th.
Year number 8.
Yep.
Year number 8 for this Fans View. Who would ever thunk that?
Yep. So I think it's October 15th will be the live show that will be celebrating the
Wow.
8 years.
Wowzer.
So.
Wowzer.
Yep. Who would have thought?
Oh, yeah, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
All right. With all that being said, I am going to go watch my Phillies win. And we'll see everybody next week.
Sounds good.
Is that good?
One day before the trade deadline, and Jimmy Rollins being sitting right in this spot.
Yeah, right. Christmas in July. Don't forget. I got it up year round.
We'll be getting Jimmy Rollins' opinions on the trade deadline moves.
There you go.
Or non-moves.
All right. Take care, everybody.
See you guys later.